Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle Robinson. I'm a psychic medium, a intuitive mentor, artist, and a channel. So welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. This is a soul-led channel and I've been led here by my guide and by my communication with the angelics. I've got to say, somewhat reluctantly, this was not something that I would have put myself up for. But I do lay my trust in my connection with the other side. And so I'm here trying my best to follow what it is that they want to bring through and share with you. And this is usually guidance and to help lead you through a period of time, which I'm told is a window and a time which could be particularly tough. And I have had the word discombobulating for a lot of us. And this all started around mid last year, where I was, well, probably earlier, but where I really was getting the push, and it was time. And I started sharing, and a lot of what I've shared has already come to pass. So what I do, I find it very hard now to keep my eyes open during these sessions. So I just close my eyes, um, tap in and just bring through whatever wants to come through. I'm already hearing the words rise in vibration. So at this time, we're all undergoing, and this is at a cellular, energetic, whole body systems level. There is a raise in vibration which is occurring not only to us individually, but to our entire planet and including all upon it. And this includes plants and animals. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm seeing pigs. I have to share this. 3 nights ago, and I knew it was going to come up, but I just didn't expect it to come up quite so quickly. I had the most awful vision in the morning, and I knew it was going to come up in this YouTube. So I was just, it was like a dream, but a vision, and it was like I was in the old-fashioned kitchen, I guess, of a medieval setting. So I was going up the stone stairs and I could see there was a big fire and there was a rack ready or a pole ready to take pigs to roast upon this fire. And the pigs were already standing by and they were strung up and I saw they had been like stabbed or injured, but they were not actually dead. And there was a noose around their neck. They were hanging on a pole and they were basted ready to put over the fire, but their eyes were following me as I was going up the stairs, and I could not bear it. They were pleading with me, and it was so real. And I ended up having to do this as I went past them. So I knew, when I woke up, I heard farming practices, so I knew this was going to come up in this reading. But this feeling of seeing these pigs and not being able to do anything about it has stuck with me since that vision. It was not pleasant. So I'm seeing the pigs. Farming practices. So this raise in vibration and awareness is occurring across all upon our earth, including domestic animals. This is including your pets as well. So their awareness is also increasing. I always pick up on cats and dogs in any case in readings and how much they know that we just don't realize there's a lot more going on. And they feel like often they're humans and they're here helping us. And there's a lot of emotional assistance that our pets provide, but I'm seeing them looking at us, communicating with us. And I feel that the ability to actually telepathically understand what your pet is trying to tell you is also increasing. So that's something I'm seeing. I'm just looking at the eyes of the animal. So the animal mirrors us as human beings. This is our domestic pets, those that have chosen to be with us as soul animals and walk alongside us. We must really take care of these animals. They are here for our good, to mirror back to us emotions, change behaviors. So I see a cat or a dog misbehaving or maybe doing a wee in an inappropriate place, and this is their displeasure. This is them sensing something they don't like, them protesting scenarios. So I feel when there's conflict in the kitchen and there's a situation where someone should be standing up for themselves, the pet is then displaying an aspect of this in their own behavior. So as our behavior increases and our vibration increases, and two scenarios, one is divisions widening and one is people coming together. So I expect to start seeing this playing out in our pets as well. I'm seeing those that may use physical violence on their pet as a way of taming or controlling. This needs to end. This is of flagellating yourself. I can see that at a time when you are not literally, symbolically in front of the pearly gates, this is something that you will have to answer to cruelty to other beings. This is something that you will then in turn flagellate yourself for such behavior during your lifetime. These are not easy things for the soul to reconcile, so sorting them out now. I've got so much purple just swirling behind my eyes at this time. This is pertaining to the raise and vibration. Also the, so distracting. And it's all I can see. So usually I can see my mind's eye, but I'm literally just seeing purple swirling, moving. The connection to something greater than ourselves, a higher vibration, a higher plane. So things are, and I'm feeling that can be an unsteadying time for a lot of people because of changes which are occurring as you are moving up planes of vibration, your frequency rising, not knowing what's happening, feeling more sensitive, more vulnerable, more emotional, being maybe more fiery because of this, responding, reacting. So trying to temper these emotions. This is you feeling this extra sensitivity. This is not an appropriate way to maybe display that sensitivity. Take a moment, have a breath. A conversation, a heartfelt truth is going to take you further. There is potential to push away from during this time rather than bring together, and the opportunity to bring together being so much greater. This is, I see kind of amongst family members being quite common, sensitivities towards each other. There will be shifts and changes that occur, but this is through understanding, through patience, through perseverance, and through communication, rather than through angst and shouting and control and trying to get your own way. The coming together, spending time together, quality time. I'm seeing dinner tables, sharing stories, using this as an opportunity to talk about things that may be on our mind, the purging, the sharing. I'm seeing again that as more light is coming into our body, there's a release of the fears, the angst, the things that maybe we are used to carrying with us at all times, that headspace that's always in the what if, what will be the outcomes, what negativities, but we're raising above this and being able to let some of this go at this time, taking ownership for what is ours as well. And what being aware of our own securities, creating and conflict in some situations, the projection of this onto another. And I'm getting the word mirroring. So I feel that we're going to see some of this mirrored back to us through communication, conversations. Perhaps we will notice this in other people. This is their insecurity. I need not be emotionally involved. I can observe this behavior and say, this is an insecurity that they have. This is a lack of confidence. This is a jealousy, again, pertaining to lack of confidence, lack of self-worth, and then realizing as a mirror where this may show up in your own behavior and in your own life. We are human, but these things are coming to the surface, and I'm hearing the word prepared for life with more ease and grace, without so many of these worries and fears. So letting go, releasing. Again, and I've had this so many times, choice point. So choice to remain in that fear or to allow these realizations going with this time, with this increased flow. And as I'm talking, entirely shifting purple behind my eyes, this big connection into universal consciousness, universal truth, the ability to rise above. Okay, so there is a downside or an uncomfortable component of this rising tide. I'm seeing red tide, red moon, red water. Not holding on. Not sure quite what that is. I might come back to that. Moon rising up. I think this is still our hidden fears, and this is like the bloodlust and of humanity. It's almost like a sea of blood, and this is what a large number of us will be leaving behind. And then I'm seeing kind of angelics and at a higher plane. This is literally maybe referring to like the biblical heaven and hell. So this is the hell that we're creating upon our own earth plane. This is our choice point. Again, this is where we can choose. Do we dip our feet in the sea? Do we stay within this bloodlust, this controlling, this bloodthirsty reality? Or do we seek the angels and the harps? It's where I love to be, rainbows and lollipops. And it's just so light and bright, and I'm just seeing nature and kind of enjoyment and almost little girls playing with the dolls. So taking us back to our childhood where our existence was very pure and we actually naturally had a lot of connection until I feel around age 6. This is kind of something that declines or we become more rooted into reality. So we have the ability to tap into that again, something beautiful. Again, I'm seeing the angels playing on the harps. Okay, so now I'm being drawn to my story. So my connection with the angelics, okay, I can open my eyes now. Very beautiful, definitely a story. I didn't believe in angels, and they made their presence known to me in ways that I could not refute their presence. I had physical evidence left in my body of different scenarios. It's a big story, and it was quite a convoluted story because I'm quite a logical, scientific minded person who also happens to be quite creative and intuitive. So there's these kind of aspects which I needed to bring in together. And I think that's a good thing because it means that I needed to find practicality and logical sense for some of these maybe occurrences. Anyway, meditation was always a really good access point. So this is when the angelics would come through. So even just walking, I could reach quite a meditative state. And then I would just see, like, if it was Gabriel, he would fill my mind's eye with white light and almost the outline of angelics. And so I would know time to do a channeling. And same with Raziel. So all the aura, like they're multicolored rainbow. So would see them as coming through on a frequency of light, and that was how they came through to me, and also the feeling, and then I could channel. And so I didn't know them, and they would come through on a light and they would tell me their name and give me information, and then I would ask for validation, and then it was validation that I could look up and go, oh my God, there is a Raziel and he is the multicolored angel, and this kind of thing. So now I can tell that the vibration is increasing because I can just be getting around in my normal everyday business. obviously when my mind's not really, really busy with something else, and I can just feel them coming in, okay, and there's the feeling of, okay, my vibration's rising, there's something that wants to be said. So I don't need to be in that meditative state necessarily. I've got the stronger connection. So this occurred this morning. I knew that this channeling was going to go out today, which is 20, what are we? Wednesday, the 26th of March. So I am doing this early because I'm about to go and do a multi-day walk, Walls of Jerusalem in Tasmania. So I'm doing this early so I can get something out for you. And I didn't know what was going to come up, and I didn't want it to all be about Iran and war and oil and I don't know, that kind of thing. So it's not, which is great. Anyway, so I was just brushing my teeth in the bathroom. Seems to be a lot going on in the bathroom these days. And I just felt multi-angelic presence. And I kind of just had a little scan, like in my mind's eye, I looked around and I felt all the blue and then the green and the white. And so I felt, okay, we've got my team, my angelic team. So I call in always for my protection, for my readings before I do this YouTube. And I've spoken of this before, Raphael. Raphael brings the healing, and this is when I get this green light behind my eyes. Michael cuts to the quick. He's very powerful and very sure in what he's saying, and he just gives you the insights. He cuts through illusion. So I ask for him in my readings. Let's cut through any illusions that are going on for this client so that they can see the truth of a matter, because we often like to wear rose-tinted glasses about aspects of our life which are not serving us. And also Gabriel brings a lot of messages, and so the white, and I can feel him as I'm talking about him on my right, so he comes through on my right, and Uriel behind me, so grounded truths. And so these are different aspects which I call in, and Metatron and Sandalphon from below, Metatron from above. So they all have input into these readings here with you today, and I could see all of the lights around me. So this is a stronger connection at this time. Take this opportunity. Angelic energy is a thing, and so I'll give you another example because I'm seeing this as well with Raziel. Okay, so some of you might realize or know from my previous words that I've had a nerve disorder. So this happened a few years ago, very soon after a intense kind of upgrade that I received, like a frequency upgrade. And I have moments where I'm still struggling with this, particularly when I push myself physically. And at times when I've done this and I'm in bed at night, I've had the angelics actually come in and surround me in light and perform like a healing. And I can wake up and feel so good. And it is so, be open to this energy, call it in, converse with the angelics. They can't do much to help you if you are not open to this and calling them in. Okay, I think that's all about that. Um, okay, just bob along on the sea at this time. The uncomfortable part being that which is in between, that which our feet are still going on the cycle, doing the things that we were normally doing, but yet it feels exhausting. It's uncomfortable. It's not, our muscles are aching, so to speak. Like here we are still on the wheel, but yet I'm feeling differently. My vibration is rising. This is feeling, and it's the words like out of alignment, but feeling uncomfortable, feeling irritated, like there are aspects of what I'm doing that I can no longer take part in. This is part of the process of the raising of vibration. Some of this will not make sense. Things that you think sensibly, logically, this is what I need in my life and this is the direction that I'm going, and yet you know it's going to have to peel away for your happiness. So choose your happiness. The happiness is that which is going to serve and hold you. I feel the universe is going to support you in this. So this is not a situation where I leave and then I fall down and then I am mired in misery, wondering what I've done. Take a step. Be brave and courageous. So I'm seeing like standing on a ledge, but this time arms out, face up, and just leap of faith. swan diving, but into a pool where you can swim, luxuriate, sit on the rocks on the edge and enjoy and just seeing the beautiful little waterfall. So choose this. Obviously, I don't want anyone to do anything silly, but follow. This is the time to follow your heart and your heart's truth. So I just feel that even making small changes within your place of residence, your place of abode, your country of abode, your location, geography. This is one aspect. Because I feel that we are energetically suited to some locations, and then this will call us and we will feel this and to try to be true to this. Also, the places of work. There could be a sense of irritation around this as well. So finding some sense of peace, of beauty, of harmony within that workplace, trying to alter and change to improve the outcomes. So this could be as simple as seeing something beautiful, so that you can gaze your eyes in like a little flower in a vase or something which can uplift your soul, removing yourself from those who creating angst. And I'm actually seeing like headphones playing high frequency music, something which is not interfering, but just raising your vibration, not getting caught up in like pettiness in other people's angst. So putting that layer of protection around yourself. These are the kind of sensitivities that are going to increase, going where there is joy and happiness again. So the colleagues that bring laughter and lightness and fun and not buying into pressure. Putting yourself first. It is reasonable to have I'm saying breaks, having a break, taking a breather. We are not robots. So this is becoming more of the norm. Boundaries, setting boundaries around practices such as overwork, such as thinking that to maintain our job, we must say yes out of fear, boundaries. So being very strong with boundaries behavior in the workplace. I'm just hearing overburdened. Okay. This needs to be addressed because I feel 6 months, this 6 months where it's almost like, isn't this supposed to be better? Aren't we supposed to be riding high? Is our vibration not rising? Why is this so uncomfortable? It is so uncomfortable because it is rising, and this is part of the process. So almost the roots in one and the head in another, and the transition taking time and not being such a quick process. So don't be alarmed if you feel like you're dipping like a wave in and out. Oh, my reality, this is hard. This feels harsh. I'm struggling. Then moments of clarity, of lightness, and just keep on this path. And those moments of dip are just going to lessen as the vibration keeps increasing. Meditation, don't know how many times I've said this, so here we are about meditation again. Meditation being the gateway to holding this vibration. So it's like we can dip our body, our mind, our energy into this reality of high vibration during meditative states. This is much easier for us to reach that high vibrational state, and then going back to a lower vibration during our everyday reality. But the knowing how to hold that, the feeling that, the carrying that, taking us more and more into that reality through this practice. This may just be mindful awareness for 5 minutes. I'm hearing 5 minutes a day of breathing, of allowing the mind to go and connecting into something greater. The angelics are waiting. They're waiting for more opportunity to bring clarity, awareness, healing, heartfelt truths into each of your lives, they are waiting. They're holding out their hands. They have always been there. Human beings I always get the word mired in lower vibrational states and miseries and looking in the wrong direction, almost looking at the boots in the mud and the toil and the hardship and being so used to that and just looking up, reaching out. And I'm just seeing someone being like, yoink, out of the gumboots up into a higher reality. So I hope you all understand what I mean. It doesn't mean that we're literally floating like la 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 with our harps and angelic wings, but our reality will become more of that state. This will mean a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go. Some of the letting go will be of things that you thought were utmost to your existence. Now I'm going to fuel vehicles, prestige, materialism, homes, land, ownership, control. Again, I'm seeing like groups of people, and so I'm seeing them in a circle. This is going to be the shift, and I've got this a lot before. And maybe there's just something there's, I think last time or the last couple or 3 years have been about mortgage rate increases. So literally, I think I did one on a Friday, and by Wednesday there was a mortgage rate increase, and then it came up again. I think I did that recording on a Friday as well. I don't know, maybe I don't remember, but whenever I did that one, maybe Monday, on the Tuesday, I think there was a raise, and then it was released on the Wednesday. So it's very quick and imminent. Timing not being the same on your earth plane. Some things can happen very quickly. They are imminent and can be spoken of very firmly. Others having a period assigned to them, of which there is an ebb and flow according to happenings upon the earth and energies as they play out. So some of these timelines shift and change. This is also timelines as to, I feel separation. I feel 2 distinct layers and I'm seeing the blood red sea and the white angelic kind of layer. So I'm just seeing this as 2 very distinct separate realities. So separation of realities of those living upon earth plane. There will be 2 distinct vibrational levels. I feel that they will become quite separate. This will be over time. At the moment, there's crossover at the top, so some are already existing in that higher level, and some in the kind of that lower vibrational level, but it's going to separate out. So there's almost going to be a gap between and quite separate realities. I'm seeing it as quite equal sized, like layers, bands. I don't know if that means or indicates. Let's see. I'm hearing population divided, just population divided equally. So I feel this is fairly equally. So you can expect half of Earth's residents to raise in vibration. I'm not even sure if the other half is kind of staying where they were. Third reality. Okay, this is where we have been sitting, so maybe staying. So I'm seeing souls rising up, soul lights and lifting up. So I always see this as souls passing, and by passing through my mediumship, moving from one plane of existence into another, not residing in the physical body. So not all can hold this vibration. And I just feel for some, and I have had this before as well, increasingly it will be for some to move on. I'm going back to the pigs in the sty. I'm feeling very strongly that, and this, I don't know when I'm supposed to go with my banner or start something, but I just know how sick what I saw has made me feel. I'm seeing salmon in salmon farms. I'm seeing pigs in pigsty, but mass pigs. Slaughter practices halal. I don't know anything about that. It's something I'm not sure if halal is positive or negative in this practice, but there's something which does not pertain to the best interest of the animals around slaughter. And this practice must give way. The pig also has an increase in vibration and awareness and is suffering at the hands of humans. I'm seeing cows. I'm seeing a cow turn and look at me with their eyes. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Um, I feel that it's about the feed, something about the feed and around practice with the cow. I'm not seeing kind of feeling anything else around this. But the importance of organic feed, perhaps eating the meats that we eat, associating them wild caught salmon, the farms actually tainting this industry in any case. This will increase the costs of the foods, but this practice is important and sustainable, and maybe because I feel gluttony like decreasing. This is even the amounts using other forms of protein and caring for all in our environment. I'm seeing whales. There could be more interesting encounters or them coming in closer to our shores or putting on a display, or I'm seeing tails thumping, rolling, some kind of as if they're performing for people. So just feeling this connection, to, I'm hearing very high vibrational being, and I'm also seeing elephants looking at you. Again, I'm seeing the eyes, they draw me in. I can never, I don't know, I'm not sure how we can just advocate for animals, but if you have the opportunity, this is just so important. I'm seeing the beautiful souls of these animals, the gentleness, the maternalness, the inquisitiveness and curiosity and intelligence of the elephant, playfulness. I'm seeing a trunk coming out and touching the side of a cheek. They have their awarenesses. So I'm seeing a chain around the foot, the animal having a sore. I'm seeing monkeys performing monkeys. These are the practices that must stop. I'm seeing lions, caged lions. So providing better habitat. So I'm seeing more safari style, increasing the protection of these majestic animals. The future of these animals being of utmost importance. Puffins, now I know all about puffins. I'm seeing the beautiful beaks this time. Again, advocating for these animals. Okay, the push upon Greenland, again, becoming high on the agenda. This is due to also oil issues and untapped oil reserves, other secrets held beneath the earth. This is an important place to protect. I feel large protests around the situation are going to be needed. I don't fully understand why environmental crises I'm hearing and utmost importance, and we must all advocate in this direction. Again, I feel there's seeing like a green energy being held, like Raphael's green energy, just a layer over this land. It is to be protected at all costs. This could be a very special place for reasons that I'm not seeing. Also, Arctic Circle, again, a very important piece of land, again, to be protected. I'm seeing pressure on oil reserves like Alaska due to current circumstances. Again, I'm seeing egg on the face. I feel that we're going to see a much more subdued Donald Trump, tail between his legs. This will not be obvious, just a more subdued front, creating chaos and catastrophe and not having the outcome he thought, being too smug of a larger ego. This has put him under strain. He is waiting for other warring nations to join and link arms and stand in solidarity with them, and others are. This is not going to occur. This does not have a chain effect. He is standing alone. This will create a pulling away from Israel and a misunderstanding between the gentlemen involved in this agreement and this pact, and a cooling off of relations, Israel standing for its own and having to maybe battle on that front more in a more solid way. Trump, I feel, again, just realizing this was not the outcome that was expected, and the global outrage backlash has been significant. I do feel this will only be seen in a quieter voice and less arrogant approach, but there will be no backing down. Again, the ego being too large to say we made a mistake, we need to make amends. War being easy to begin and more difficult to simmer. This being a protracted issue, I'm getting a 4-year period, give or take, of tensions, escalations, and ramifications globally. So expect a time of shortage. This will impact farming practices and transportation. I did see this last year and at the beginning of this year without realizing quite where this was coming from. I had visions of oil being shipped from Middle East being stopped. And I did feel that there was still going to be shipping between like Australia, aspects of Europe, but also Asia, and strengthening of ties more locally, not necessarily fuel, but goods and scarcity. So maybe our times of abundance and cheap goods and availability and online shopping, just maybe this is something which is going to kind of give way during this period of time. Lack of availability, raising costs, which I'm sure we're all becoming aware of. I'm still hearing electric cars not being the answer. I'm sure those with electric cars at the moment, this feels like a good choice, but I keep hearing not being the answer. I'm just hearing to hunker in and also just make changes as they are occurring, and obviously just going with the tide of these times. This will affect plane flights, cancellations and delays. This is going to actually bring in a more sensible use of domestic, I'm hearing domestic, but maybe more so domestic flight timetables. And I feel that perhaps there were holding spots that companies were keeping and maybe flying planes that were very far from capacity. And this is just to maintain a foot in the industry and a hold. And some of these practices will give way. So these were not great practices. In any case, it just means, again, more flexibility. Hearing the word gluttonous, focus on gluttonous behaviours. Rising electricity costs. So prepare for this as well. This is inevitable. So try to mitigate risk around this as far as possible. There may be some power outages that occur as well. I can't see exactly why. It could be weather events, but I'm just seeing a candle. So making sure that you just have, again, just some things in place should there be some expected power outages. I'm seeing trains being a very good alternative at this time. So I feel like there's less disruption in that area and commuting. So if this is something that's available to you, I feel this is something which is going to hold quite stably. And again, I've been taken back to Heathrow. I'm seeing Heathrow disruptions, delays, and snow at Heathrow Airport, creating holiday disruption. So expect to see this to do with flights. Singapore having something which other countries are looking to, that they've done something in advance, and it's around, I'm just seeing a dome with plants in it, and I see that as at the airport. So I'm seeing Singapore airport, but there's something that they're doing quite well that we can learn from, that they are more advanced in around operations to do with, I don't know if it's terminals in airports or transportation, something along these lines, which will be copied. They operating quite well. Japan, technological advancements. So this is where we should look to for future remedies. This is something which these poor, beautiful Japanese men are working very hard on, overworking. Please, if there's anyone from Japan listening to this, it's very important to find balance in your life and harmony for better outcomes. I'm seeing such tired men working so hard, tirelessly. It's part of the culture, but it tires and fatigues the brain and really stunts the creativity. There is a lot coming from Japan, a lot of creativity, these beautiful, clever men and industry. Please look after yourselves. I'm seeing this as a priority. If any of you hear this, I'm seeing it's important, maybe long hours, taking a nap, actually having a nap during the day, a refresh, the tiredness of the brain, not mistakes happen. It actually is causing more delays in production and tiredness and dotting the I's, crossing the T's. Refreshes are very needed, as is high nutrition food. And I'm seeing seaweed and some of your ancestral foods being very important at this time. Salts, electrolytes, look after your physical bodies, and we can in the future look to industry manufacturing from Japan as being a saving grace for many issues that we are seeing currently. Thank you. If anyone happens to be a Japanese manufacturer, I'm seeing this as la la la. very wonderful. So look to this amazing island, and please, this is where we all come together. There is something that each a nation has to offer another. This is Singapore, this is Japan, Indonesia, having other building, structural remedies as well. There's maybe something along the lines of building materials or decreasing. Oh, yes, they are having a problem with Java. So coming up with strong but structurally light building materials so we can all learn off each other. We must bond and hold hands as I'm feeling quite southern nations, even though they're not all just southern, but these are peaceful nations, nations of solution, and come together at this time. Australia is actually going to have some amazing farming practices, food practices around. There's just going to be change in food production practices. This is going to be come from Australia. Also, production or maybe extraction or sharing of minerals and resources. So I feel this is going to be something where nations come together, and this is incredibly important. Geopolitical bonding and importance and beneficial for all. We must stop with this racism and Muslim against Jew, and everyone has something different to offer us. We're all sovereign beings and all one under in universal truth. So I feel again at the pearly gates, these realizations will rock us. Those who practice separation and incite racist, maybe it's judgments, all of these judgments that we have while we're here on earth. And when I say pearly gates, we will have the opportunity upon our raising from our body to review our life, these judgments becoming quite obvious of unnecessary, harmful. This is something that we must face. So if we can put our pride, I'm hearing pride and prejudice, so pride and prejudice aside and embrace all. This is becoming increasingly important at this time. I love that I have had nothing about Iran. I know some people just want to hear the nitty gritty and where this and that, and this is a yes, warnings as they're coming. I feel like I've had plenty of those about things that are going to change, what we need to do. I don't feel like we need to get bogged down in all the nitty gritty. I mean, I don't every day at all. Yes, different things that are going on are going to affect all of us. We've been told that by the archangels. This will affect all. There will be no stone left unturned. So it's all just coming into play, really. It's interesting hearing it and then kind of seeing it play out is another thing. Okay, I'm hearing that's all. This was a little bit different. I love that. Thank you for watching. I've just got to say something. I just want to say I have met quite a few people from this community through various readings. Guys, oh my gosh, I just embrace you all. I have met some of the most amazing human beings ever. And I just want to say I appreciate you. I have so much gratitude, and through meeting of some of these beautiful souls is why I'm continuing to do these in the first place, because I still can't quite fathom what I'm doing here. And they've told me personally some of the things that they've got from my channel. And so for you, I am here. I'm still doing this. And some of you absolutely blow me away. And so if these are the souls that are watching my channel, and if you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up for you as well. And for those of you who are wanting to work on how do I help raise my vibration. I have a short course out, especially for that. It's just gone up on my website. I'll put the links in the description. I've kept it quite cheap, just kind of ways that you can help raise your vibration during this time. This is something that's happening naturally anyway, but with ways that we can work on that and things that will help. And it's raising your vibration through heart-based living. And I've said for developing intuitives, but it's for anyone that just wants to lead a better life. So on that note, thank you. Have a great Easter. Not sure if I'll be back before Easter. We're a few days off from that at the moment. And I'll see you again after I've finished Walls of Jerusalem. So